This is the 5 on 5 podcast presented by directmusicservice.com. We haven't said that in a minute, it feels like. I am Phenom. To my right is Jupiter Williams. Below me, Nick Lopez, coming live from sunny tropical Las Vegas. And our special guest today, DMS's very own. Make some noise for Fuseamania.
How you guys doing?
Doing all
What's
right.
up, man? How are you?
You know what? Hold on. Pause.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I had to. Because I'm doing.
5 seconds in.
Yeah, hey,
You
we're
know
in.
what?
Because I'm very excited because I'm doing very well. Oregon State just won 2 games in this March Madness tournament.
Talk about it.
Yeah, they're kicking
I'm
ass.
talking
Oregon's
about it, man.
looking
I'm
crazy.
talking about it, man. Oregon State. Nick, say it with me. Oregon State.
Speaking of foreign language to me.
UNLV.
Listen,
And
my bracket's
too,
looking
right?
great. My bracket's looking great right now. Pac-12 is looking great in the brackets right now. So,
That's fucking right.
doing great. Okay, right back to our regular scheduled program. Sorry, y'all.
Okay. A little hoops talk. This is the basketball 5 on 5. No, let's get into it, gentlemen. What we do every week, we compare 2 artists head to head, their top 5 songs as viewed most popular on Spotify. This is going to be a good one this week, gentlemen. Fuse has seen us post every single podcast as he works for DMS. So he knows the lay of the land around these parts, but he doesn't quite know who the head-to-head's going to be this week. So I present to you, gentlemen, this in honor of seeing a certain someone's Halloween costume from not too long ago. We are going David Bowie versus Queen.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man.
Actually,
It's going to be a tough one.
This is going to get a little interesting. Hey, what?
This might be one of, I think, my favorite head-to-heads.
yeah.
Okay.
Hey, one of my best friends is here. I got to tell him. So this podcast that I'm doing it's called the 5 on 5 podcast, and they debate the top 5 Spotify from 2 artists, and we're doing David Bowie and Queen, as if it couldn't get any harder.
Hey, if he has an opinion, bring him in.
Yeah, bring him in.
All right,
Celebrity shooter.
He said we might need if there's a tie, because there's 4 of us, we can bring in a 5th.
Yeah. This is interesting. So I looked up some numbers here. David Bowie, 15 million plays on Spotify monthly. Queen, 35 mil.
Okay.
That's pretty interesting.
Kind of a jump.
I
jump there.
I bet if that Stardust movie. I bet if that Stardust movie did better.
You know,
See?
maybe this is a tough one. I feel like, do the Spotify numbers show globally or just in America? Do we know that?
That's a good question.
That is a good question. I think
Let me do a number crunch on that.
Yeah.
Let's take it to our best guy on the scene.
While he's looking that up, I'll tell you an interesting David Bowie story. I was in Manhattan I DJ'd, and I was visiting C-Flow, as you guys know. I know, Colin, you know C-Flow.
Shout out. Yeah.
He's great guy, great DJ, hilarious too.
He's a Beav. He's an Oregon State alum too.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's my guy. That's where we met. We met in college. So
we're walking through the village, and I'm like, man, why are all these people like standing around this apartment like going crazy? I get back to our hotel room, and on the news, sure enough, it's David Bowie passed, and people are gathered around his apartment in New York City, like putting flowers down and stuff. So kind of interesting. Yeah.
Wow.
Jeez. I didn't know. I'm sure he had multiple places, right? New York was just one of them. Yeah.
I'm sure, yeah.
Bowie's just like an international dude. Let's get into it here. Neek, did we find anything on those results?
Those numbers are global. Those are global
Those
numbers.
are global.
And
Okay.
fun fact, the #1 streamed artist currently on Spotify is Bad Bunny.
Oh,
Interesting.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh.
That's interesting. But that kind of doesn't shock me.
It doesn't. He's the most popular artist
He's a cheat
currently,
code right
which
now.
is kind of
He's a cheat code
interesting.
I
We'll
would've
talk about
thought,
that a little later, though, because I have some thoughts on him.
Do you have the top 5 on you?
Episode.
Do you have the top 5
for Spotify? For Bad
Yeah.
Bunny? No.
Or the top 5 of most streamed on Spotify right now, like all the artists?
No,
Because I'm
no,
curious.
it just said. No, it just gives me
it says
who's
Bad,
the number one.
Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny, fuck off, get out of our face. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Very good. Very, very good. Let's start with round 1, gentlemen. David Bowie, Heroes or Queen, Bohemian Rhapsody? Let's start with Fuse.
Heroes or Bohemian Rhapsody? Wow. Right off the bat, that's really hard to say which one, but oh man. I don't even know, because both of those songs, like, for me are like, you know, music's one of those things that you can always define moments or like movies or like something specific that happened in your life to those songs, or like a certain thing that you always just, when you associate that song. And I feel like I have good memories for both. But I mean, I love Heroes. I love that song. But if I have to pick, I think I have to pick Bohemian Rhapsody. I mean, I just think that that's the one I got to go with. Like, and that's really hard for me to say over that one. So. Okay.
All right. We'll start with that. We will break for 1 sec. Neek, audio sounds good over here.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe might be your laptop.
All right. As long as it's from my end.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Travis.
I gotta go with Bohemian Rhapsody because growing up in Chicago and in the greater Chicago area, there's a small little movie called Wayne's World, and you know, visiting that area where they sang the song was a
Aurora.
Yeah, Aurora, Illinois.
Wayne's World is a top 5 movie for me too. So
yeah, that was a big part of my childhood was going back and forth between Aurora and Chicago, and like visiting that and going to basketball games, high school basketball games in Aurora and Juliet, all the little towns outside of Chicago. So I gotta go with Bohemian Rhapsody. Time and place.
Okay.
Time and place.
Okay. I wonder if we could look back now. I bet you that just did crazy numbers for Queen sales after that came out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, had to.
It was just like shot up right to the top and made it like the number 1 song again in like what, 93, 92, something around there.
Something like that.
Neek, where are we going?
I really don't want to be cliche and say Bohemian Rhapsody, but I'm going to. Because as like popular as that song is, and as much as I'd love to be a contrarian on this one, like it's really good. It's just really good, and I don't want to like go on about like one of the most popular songs of all time, but man, like I'm a sucker for like song arrangements and key changes, and this is like the epitome of that.
It's so funny that we're doing this today too, because you know, you guys know Simo from DMS, and Simo lives here in Cincinnati with me, and he's one of my best friends too. He sent out a tweet today that it said, literally, this is what it said: the entire premise of the movie Bohemian Rhapsody, that Bohemian Rhapsody was too long of a song, and then during the climax of the movie they cut Bohemian Rhapsody short because it's too long.
Shout out Simo. Shout out.
That part as well, like naming the namesake of the movie had to be cut short.
Right.
Because it truly is like a 12-minute long song.
I love that.
It's just like an odyssey in music where you're going through so many emotions just to get to like the big payoff. And
it's a journey. I love it.
So David Bowie Heroes gets swept in the first round.
Unfortunately. And we're going to get killed. We're going to get killed on YouTube.
0 votes.
Somebody's coming for all of our
I feel bad saying it, but that's like, I mean, it's just too hard, that one. But I just feel like that, I mean, they're both just great songs, but I feel like Bohemian Rhapsody, like, I mean, I just think they defied everything with that song. So.
Yeah,
sure.
There's not very many songs I think that could measure up to Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, that's fair. Let's take it to round 2 here. David Bowie off of Diamond Dogs. We're talking Rebel Rebel, or Queen, Another One Bites the Dust. Let's start with Neek.
I'm going with Queen. That's a B-boy classic. So always, anytime I hear a break on the show, I'm going with that. So Another One Bites the Dust is for sure my pick on this one.
Okay. Travis?
Rebel Rebel. Heard Another One Bites the Dust too much.
Ooh. Tiebreaker goes to Fuse.
Man.
Hey, you got a lifeline in the back.
All right. Another One Bites the Dust or Rebel Rebel?
So for me, it's Rebel.
He says for him it's Rebel Rebel, which, see, this is going to hurt because I feel like it's hard for me to say Rebel Rebel over Another One Bites the Dust, but I'd probably choose Rebel Rebel too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a tough one, and the internet's gonna kill us on this one, I think too. Like,
the internet's coming for our
tough
head,
one.
regardless.
I mean,
It's coming for
this is like debating Flow Rider versus Pitbull. I mean, like, this is tough.
Just monsters.
Titans of their industry.
What's crazy about the internet, like the YouTube people, is I swear they don't even listen to the episode or understand the premise because they just go in on like
That's why I love our
they just see
YouTube
Queen
community.
versus
Yeah.
David Bowie, and that's all they're gonna talk
And we're
about.
automatically
They're not gonna talk
Slims.
about the rounds or anything like that.
You
They just-
idiots. How good
idiots!
is-
Why would you compare them?
That's why I love our
Okay.
YouTube community, man.
Yeah. So shout out to the YouTubers, Travis. Like, follow, subscribe. What else? Ding that bell.
Hey, man, you already said it all. You know, like, follow, subscribe, smash the like, smash the subscribe. Go ahead and ding the bell notification every time we drop, y'all. Let's keep it rolling. Mr. Jones takes that one.
David Bowie got that. Round 3 off of Ziggy Stardust. I'm talking David Bowie, Starman, or Queen, Don't Stop Me Now. Let's go to Neek. Oh.
Whoa.
I'm cheating now because I'm looking at like the other songs, like, so I can already start thinking about them.
I'm going with man. I'm going with Queen.
Okay.
That's for sure. That's a great Bowie song, but
These
this
are
is one of my
tough.
favorite
There's
Queen
no
songs.
Tough
easy
one, yeah.
like, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Like, it's all
I feel
kind of
bad
neck
because
and
I've
neck.
like kind of swept so far. It's a Queen sweep for me.
You should feel bad.
Yeah. Yeah,
I think I'd feel bad either
Queen
way,
sweep.
though.
What's crazy is one of my favorite Bowie songs isn't even in the top 5, and I feel like it's a pretty popular song, and that's Modern Love. I feel like that song.
Mm.
I love that
I
song, and it's not even in.
that song.
Yeah,
love
A lot
that
of my
song.
And sorry, I'm jumping ahead, but Let's
You are.
Dance is number 5. I'm like, that song's number 5.
Well, hold on.
All right.
Hold the phone. Fuse, Don't Stop Me Now, or Starman.
I know this is tough. I really love both of them. So, Don't Stop Me Now or Starman. So I think I just got to go with Don't Stop Me Now though, over
Okay.
Starman. I don't want to. This is like if you had kids choosing which. If you had kids choosing one over the other, you know, like that's what I imagine that would feel like. I don't have any kids, so.
Travis, what are you saying on this one? Starman or Don't Stop Me Now?
Listen, I can't let Mr. Jones get swept, okay? So I got to go with
Okay.
Starman.
Okay.
Good choice.
Yeah.
I'm not even.
Yeah.
Great
yeah.
choice.
I can't be mad about anything. But I just didn't want to sweep on that one.
Yeah. I was sitting back here watching. I'm like, please don't let Bowie get swept.
Yeah,
on this.
right.
Anyone. Oh fuck, this one's a little tough as well. Space Oddity or Queen featuring David Bowie, Under Pressure?
Oh.
Let's start with Neek because I like that face you just made.
Shit. Damn, dude. Like my gut reaction is Queen again, but like.
But then you think about Space Odyssey.
Yeah, and I'm like, wait, no, I think I might go with Bowie because, I mean, even though I like this song a lot, it's not like a jammer.
Okay.
I guess, I don't know. I'm making up reasons. I'm just going with David Bowie.
This is a classic. My friend Murph here would karaoke Space Odyssey at a bar, like any given night if there's karaoke. So I'm going to choose that just because of that reason. But Under Pressure is a great song. And I always loved when I was in high school that the Used did the cover, the cover version of it. I always thought that was cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Have you made an edit of that yet? Somebody needs to bring that back.
I think I did make one at one point. I don't know if it's on the site.
It's good. A good cover.
I'm looking now if it's on the site. I don't know if it's going to be on there or not because of a certain record label that's been not very fun to deal with. But let's.
And when he says on the site, he means direct music service.
It is on there.
It is on there.
Yeah, I have the edit, the My Chemical Romance and the Used Under Pressure cover, both a regular version and a short edit.
Oh man,
where
could they find that?
Thoughts on that?
Right on direct music service.
Here we go.
Right up my alley.
Yeah.
Needs like Birdman hand rub right there.
Yeah, right up my
Travis,
alley.
Space Oddity or Under Pressure?
Under Pressure. Let's go.
Okay.
I mean, a great song too. Can't be mad at it. I would like to. If Murph wasn't here, I might have chose Under Pressure, but I've heard him karaoke it so well in bars before past midnight that it's just fair. I cannot pick it.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a big cosign. That's a big cosign. All right, we are all tied up going into round 5 here.
Shit.
David Bowie, Let's Dance, or Queen, We Will Rock You.
Oh
Let's
my God.
Start with Travis.
Are you on the 5th one yet?
Yeah, this is the 5th one. It's like,
yeah. Oh.
For me, it's
Bowie,
crazy.
Let's Dance. Shout out Puffy, Mace. Let's go.
Wow. Mic drop.
Mic drop.
that's a very good point. I didn't even think of these, like what the songs did for like the hip hop culture as well. So saying that, it like makes me kind of now rethink like, okay, Let's Dance was a huge sample too. So
Let's Dance is monumental for hip hop culture.
We'll come to you last, Fuse, since you're the guest. Neek?
This is easy for me. Let's Dance. We Will Rock You sucks.
Neek not into stomping.
Yeah,
see,
I know.
all the Queen stands were riding with Neek all the way up, and at the very end.
Now they're gonna grill him on the internet.
Yeah, they're like, "Yo, Neek knows what's up. Like, Neek's riding with us," and then we will rock you happen. I'm like, "Nah, this shit sucks."
They're like, Neek
they
won't
just Homer Simpson into the bushes. Yeah,
yeah. Homer Simpson in.
Yeah, Homer
back
Simpson.
out with my David Bowie face paint.
Yeah. Don't worry, we'll edit this whole video to where you'll see Neek and David Bowie face paint as well.
Yeah.
This will be fantastic. Fuse.
This is really hard because what I'm gonna go and base this off of is like how many times I've played each one while DJing, which is gonna fair.
Hold on, is somebody robbing a house back there?
My patio door's open, so I'm in a pretty like popular area of town, so it's like always.
I like that.
I was concerned for a minute. I was concerned, but you were just so calm about it.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
nothing.
I
It's
thought
nothing
it
to
was
worry
sound
about.
effects where he's like, "Here comes my pick. Here we go."
That's funny that you can hear. Can you hear them talking in the background?
When
you
they
guys-
talk a little bit, yeah, we can hear.
You
them,
can hear it? Oh,
faintly,
okay.
faintly.
But I'm like they sound louder to me than the sirens. That's why it's wild.
Oh, that's
you guys
crazy.
could hear the siren. It's not a big deal.
No, not at all.
Okay, so Let's Dance or We Will Rock You. That's really tough because I watched the Mighty Ducks so many times when I was growing up that the We Will Rock You into We Are the Champions segue in the movie is like a pinnacle point of my growing up, I feel like. But I'm probably going to go with Let's Dance.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Bowie rounds it out with a sweep at the end over We Will Rock You. Gentlemen, songs that we thought should be on there that were not on there. Let's start with David Bowie's side.
Give me Life on Mars, man.
Woo!
Give me a ballad. Give me a ballad, please.
Yep.
What's the other what's the other Bowie song that's oh man, why can't I can't think of the name right now. Oh, it's like a 90 BPM song, like in the 90 beat. Oh man, hold on. I gotta try to search because I can't. It's like I'm having a super memory block.
There's like a GTA style battle going on outside your house right now. Like,
really is. There really is. I'm sorry.
Cincinnati is on fire. And he's
So-
like, what's that song 90 BPM? It's like helicopter.
Bowie Changes. I felt like that's a big one that's not on there.
Fire.
Changes, and then it's not even on here. The song I'm thinking of.
I was gonna say just Ziggy Stardust.
I was gonna say Ziggy
Yeah.
Stardust. I don't know why I thought it was on there, but I mean on the top 5, but it wasn't.
Blue Jean is another big David Bowie song that I feel like.
Modern Love.
Modern
Love.
Genie. Golden Years, which is one of my favorites.
Oh,
Golden
Fame.
Years, man.
Fame.
Fame. Why is
Why
it
was
Fame
Fame
on?
Fame. That's what I was looking for.
Fame.
Fame. Yes. Yeah, Fame. I can't believe that's not up in the top 5 of all of the songs.
And
And
Fame.
Some of those songs could have made this a sweep.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Actually, no, because I don't think any of those songs would have beaten Bohemian Rhapsody for me. But the rest of them, it wouldn't have been as close.
And then
Fame. Yeah.
I guess
Fame is.
Somebody to Love is the one that I can't believe that wasn't a Queen top 5 as well as the We Are the Champions. But do they consider We Are the Champions and We Will Rock You the same song? Like, is that technically the same song?
Maybe.
I think
on
so.
The end.
Yeah,
I mean,
because
that doesn't happen till the end of that song.
Yeah. I mean, that should be considered one song.
man,
No,
you're
there
right.
is a We
Somebody
Are the
must be getting
Champions.
like for real, like shot down the street or something. Because there's some sirens here every once in a while, but like
In
that's
Queen's
been a
Top
lot.
10, number 9 is We Are the Champions. I don't know if that's like an edit or like, that's just the song.
Okay, what about Radio Gaga?
My lovely assistant's gonna come shut the door.
What's good?
What about You're My Best Friend? Boom.
Oh, that's another good one. Yeah.
What about Crazy Little Thing Called Love?
Crazy Little
Heater.
Thing Called Love. Another
Heater.
What about
It
Fat
is
Bottom
cool.
Girls?
Fat Bottom Girls.
Fat Bottom
Come
Girl.
on.
I mean,
man.
Queen's got
Yeah.
a bunch of hits, and it's just amazing what the people of the world listen to the most. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed those top 5 of the top 5, but
Not at all. Not at all.
There's some songs I wish were in the Queen top 5, like Cool Cat, but it's not. It's like a B-side. Like nobody's out here listening. The casual listener isn't listening to Cool Cat.
I Want It All.
I want it all.
Oh,
That was in
yeah.
a commercial, right?
Yeah.
it was. What commercial was that in, I wonder?
Number Crunch.
I want it all. Yeah, I can't.
Was
even...
it Dr. Pepper?
I think.
Oh no, it was Grubhub. Grubhub's got one too.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Maybe
I forgot
Dr.
about
Pepper one's got to be the one we're thinking of, though.
Yeah, it's Grubhub. I want it all.
I think. I'm
yeah,
thinking of
Dr. Pepper too. They both used it.
I want it. Yeah.
Anyway, Queen's getting paid, is what that means.
Queen is getting paid.
Queen's getting fucking
Between the movie and the commercials,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that estate,
crushing it right now.
that estate is doing well.
Gentlemen, let's take it to the
Let's do
lightning
it.
round here.
Let's do it.
What we do, we pick two artists. I throw them at you rapid fire. You say this or that. Let's start from the back to the front today. Mariah Carey or Whitney Houston? Just a fuse.
Just a fuse.
Mariah Carey.
Okay. Prince or Michael Jackson?
Oh man, that is hard. I'm gonna go Prince though over Michael Jackson.
Okay. Britney or Madonna?
Madonna.
Tupac or Biggie?
Tupac or Biggie? Oh my gosh, Biggie.
TLC or SWV?
TLC.
Al Green or Marvin Gaye?
Oh man, these are tough. Al Green or Marvin Gaye? Al Green.
Okay. NSYNC or Backstreet Boys?
NSYNC or Backstreet? Backstreet.
Okay. Missy or Busta?
Missy.
Phil Collins or George Michael?
Phil Collins. Just because I love that video of that wedding DJ to the Phil Collins drum solo. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go look at it.
I forgot about that.
I don't know. I haven't seen.
Travis, grab your phone right now and look this up while we are on this.
You're gonna cry laughing because if you don't, then
Phil Collins wedding DJ.
Phil Collins wedding. You guys have never seen this? We're gonna witness this live on the podcast. It's
this
great.
Is the clip. This is the fucking clip right here.
Are you ready, Trav? Tell me when you're ready. Let's watch it on 3.
Wait a minute. Hey, which one you watching?
Well, I gotta wait. I gotta wait for the ad.
50 seconds.
Here, I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up. I'll make sure it's the right one. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's like 53 seconds.
That's the one.
Worst wedding DJ.
Hold
ever.
on. Yes, that's it. All right. So,
Okay.
all right, yeah.
I can't believe we're fucking watching.
I got an ad. I got an ad.
Yeah, wait for the ad and then cue it up, and then we'll push play at the same time.
This is amazing.
Oh, the anticipation is building. Oh
Okay.
my God.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
I'm laughing already, and I have not even watched it.
God.
This dude is hammered.
What?
Wait. Wait.
I can't believe you guys have never seen this before.
Hey. No, that was just a normal gig. That's just a normal thing.
Someone's wedding.
They were way too calm with it.
I know. and like the dude's hey, it's everybody there.
I like that it was like a transition track, like it was already set.
It was set. And he just casually walked over.
Just walked over like this is part of the show.
Dude.
And she kind of pushed out her chest too a little bit. She kind of did this. I was like,
that part of it.
Like she knew.
That video is.
That was great.
Anytime I play that song or like I hear that song, I cannot think of that video. And
you can never hear it a different way.
He started with a backhand.
He did start with a backhand.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like how you ran it back, Nick. You're like, hang on a sec. Let me get.
I had to double check if that was staged.
That had to have been staged, right?
No, I don't think so.
It looks
I don't
like
know,
it was deep
man.
into the recession.
And it was a playlist too, right? Because he didn't mix that. He didn't mix
Yeah.
that.
I think the video is edited like to that song, but what I will say is I'm just really hoping that whoever paid for that DJ was like a family member or like it was like a freebie because dang.
On the house.
Damn, that is so good.
Yo,
Making us all look bad there.
Oh man, made us look terrible.
that
Oh
is
my god, that is the
level.
funniest thing I've seen in a long time. I can't believe I've never seen that.
Yo, yeah. All right,
Do we have to move on?
From that.
Do we have
Let's
to reset from that?
Ja Rule or Nelly?
Oh man, shout out Firefest, but Nelly.
Jimi Hendrix or Santana?
Hendrix.
Okay. Elton John or Stevie Wonder?
I know you guys have done this one before, and I watched that one, and you guys were heavy on the Stevie Wonders, but I'm a big Elton guy, so I'm gonna go Elton.
Hi.
Okay. Earth, Wind, and Fire or Chic?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Probably go Chic.
Okay. AC/DC or Guns N' Roses?
AC/DC.
Big Timers or Yin Yang Twins?
Yin Yang. I've seen them in concert, and they are fire. By the way,
Oh, really?
like
Yin Yang Twins?
dude, they have like their set down. What it was Yin Yang Twins, Bone Thugs, and who else?
And the wedding guy doing Phil Collins.
But the Yin Yang Twins came out. You could tell they've done so many club sets because they came out. It did like, okay, we're gonna do the verse that we're on of this song, and then like it was like, you know, like one of our DJ sets where everything just for 30 minutes just boom 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 hits, and I was like, they crushed it. Like
That's
it was great.
Somebody else that was on the show when presented with this was like, "Yo, I saw Yin Yang live, and they're pros." Like,
Yeah.
like
They like. We also saw 2 years ago now. I keep saying last year as in like stuff like the last time we did stuff. Yeah. We went to the tour where it was Blink-182 with Lil Wayne, and Lil Wayne, I've seen him before, but he crushed it so hard that we were like, we don't even want to, we came for the Blink, and we were like, we don't even want to see Blink anymore because I don't think it's going to get better than that. Like he did, what do you say he did? Like an hour? Like an hour of just fire, and like same thing. He didn't even do full songs. It was like verse, chorus of like different songs, and just
that's sick.
it was
That's
amazing.
So
Yeah,
That's
and
so
it was
good.
like that's all you needed to hear. Like you just, you know,
Yeah, I don't need the third verse of,
A
a
million.
Millie.
Yeah.
There's so
Yeah.
many third verses of that too.
yeah, and that's the thing too. I'm like, oh, I never even knew. Like, I don't play it. Like, I never did play it, so I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good segue. Weezer or Blink-182?
Oh, that's a tough one. Weezer or Blink?
Blink 1993.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like, which era of Blink?
Yeah.
It's just funny. Weezer is one of the last concerts I got to see because we went out to spring training in 2020, and we went to Innings Festival, and Weezer was the headliner. And it's funny because that's like just after they put out that cover album, so they did like a ton of covers too.
Yeah.
But
That's sick. See,
it
that
was
I would
awesome.
wanna see.
It was cool. It was fun. That's hard.
Sick band.
Like that's one where I'd Blink. Man, I don't know. Blink, probably like I'd probably have to say Blink just because I'd probably listen to so many albums of Blink and Weezer together, like full albums, that I know so many songs, but I probably have listened to more full Blink albums than Weezer albums.
Okay. Travis Scott or Future?
Future.
Okay. Hall & Oates or Outkast?
Hall & Oates or Outkast? Outkast.
Wow.
Hey, what do you think?
What do you think?
I don't know.
I know. But here's a fun fact about a Hall & Oates show. So it's Mother's Day. It was like 2016, maybe 2017. I don't know. Maybe even earlier. It might have been 2015. Him and I were like, their Hall & Oates was playing here in Cincinnati at our like outdoor facility, but at their like, so they have like one that holds like 30,000, maybe it's like 25. And then they have another one that holds like 15,000, maybe not even that many, maybe like 10. Yeah. And we were like, oh, I kind of want to go, but it's Mother's Day. And like, I don't know, like if we don't get tickets, we don't get tickets. So day of, like an hour before the show start, we get on StubHub and there were front row tickets for $50. So him and I are like, all right, we're definitely going. So we get these front row tickets to Hall & Oates for $50. And it's like all old people and us. And we're just like being those guys in the row, in the front row. They're like, excuse me, like double fisted beers at the Hall & Oates. Yeah. And everybody's like,
fuck these guys.
yeah.
Like screaming, singing your lungs out when you go on stage.
yeah. We were complete fanboys too, like having a great time, and everybody was like just chilling, like
you're chilling so hard.
He's just chilling.
Like, everyone settle down.
Yeah.
You guys are up there.
Yeah,
Private Eyes. Play Private Eyes.
We were
all
pretty
the old
lit.
People are like, shh.
We were pretty lit.
Yo, can I do a quick lightning round real quick?
Sure,
Yeah.
do it.
Can I do a WWF?
Oh yeah. Do it.
Well, I also had a few of these lined up. That's awesome. That you
Murph's also my wrestling bud. He's the one that
okay.
me and him go to all the shows. So, and
I
then
have one to add in that as well. So go ahead.
do it.
Good. Okay, so let's go. Edge or Chris Jericho?
All right, hold on. I'm gonna turn the sound on so you can just hear it, so you can hear it. All right. So, Edge or Chris Jericho is what they just asked. So, yeah, Jericho.
Jericho?
Yeah.
Jericho for the room. Okay. Let's go.
Bret Hart or Shawn Michaels?
Yeah, there you go.
Shawn Michaels.
Go ahead, Colin.
Karl Malone and Diamond Dallas Page, or Dennis Rodman and Hulk Hogan?
Dennis Rodman and Hulk Hogan, only because Rodzilla. It wasn't even until like, being so young. I was young when the Rodzilla was a thing, but then going back and watching the Michael Jordan documentary and then seeing that Rodman was basically like, fuck everybody, I'm gonna go do this WWE thing during the playoff games and get drunk and be like
skip
a
to
party
finals
boy.
practice.
I know, and then still go out and play amazing. And then. So I got to go with Rodzilla. I mean, that's as Rodzilla as it gets. Like, but
okay, so Thunder Lips or Rocky?
Deep cut.
It's a deep cut. So for anybody that doesn't know this, okay, Rocky 3, Hulk Hogan played a wrestler named Thunder Lips.
Wait, just so you know, we're gonna have to run this video back later. And when you said Thunder Lips, it petrified Neek. Neek was like, you wouldn't have thought that he saw a fucking ghost.
Do a zoom in on Neek.
Yeah, that was
I'm gonna go Thunder Lips.
Okay.
Thunder Lips or Bonesaw.
It's Thunder Lips all the way, because nothing is greater than Hollywood Hulk Hogan. And that moment of that era when Scott Hall and Kevin Nash are standing in the ring and they're about to announce the third member of the NWO.
Yeah.
And Hulk Hogan comes out. That might have been the best thing that's still ever happened in professional wrestling because they fooled everyone. I mean, when that guy came running out of the ring and you have fans throwing stuff like onto the ring that were so actually mad.
Yeah.
And then Hollywood Hogan just became like even bigger than Hulk Hogan already was. I mean, that
is the biggest heel turn in wrestling history.
It really was.
Yeah, I mean.
Wait, did you just look around before agreeing to that? Like,
no, my girlfriend's going to bed. She's tired, so I was gonna wave goodnight to her, but she's out.
Okay,
the no look wave.
Here we go. Shane McMahon or Eric Bischoff?
Oh, Shane McMahon. That guy's got bigger balls than anybody I know. I mean,
and he's a Jordan athlete too.
Yeah.
Shane O'Mac. Yeah.
Shane O'Mac. I forget what it was when I was younger and I was watching. Murph, you might know. It was back when it was like the Titantron and they used to like call it that. And he like literally climbed up the side of it and jumped off of it. And I was like, this dude, like, and
Shane O'Mac, coast to coast.
Yeah,
I know.
Who did he do that? What was that match for? When he went off the Titantron because he did the
Yeah, I don't remember. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I just remember. And then like now when you think about it and you're like, okay, you're the son of the owner. Like you just like for anybody to even take you serious, you had to like keep pushing yourself and keep pushing yourself. So like it makes sense why he was like felt the need to be so extreme. And like, I don't think he's a great wrestler by any means, but I think that every match he's ever been in has been highly entertaining because he's so willing to do and take whatever. And I think that says something to his commitment to like. Are you looking it up?
Was that?
It's Undertaker.
Was it Undertaker?
What the one when he fought Blackman and he like fell off the scaffolding?
That's what I'm thinking of. Steve Blackman, right? Yep.
When he hit him with the kendo stick, yeah.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah! This is a wrestling podcast now.
Yeah.
Right. Wait. Let me ask. Who has the best intro music? Who's your number one
of all time?
Of all time.
Would you say Hollywood Hulk? Or I mean, I think still the most like iconic. If you would ask like any random person, they would probably say Stone Cold. I mean, when that glass breaks, everybody knows what that means. But
not good.
So get this. So two of our really good friends are down in Austin. Dustin Rhodes, Dusty Rhodes' son, Gold Dust. He just started a wrestling school and they're down there right now wrestling. So they just had their first match. It aired on YouTube this past weekend and we watched it and it was like some character development and it was cool. But they're down there. Yeah, so it's Billy Burgess is the one's name. That's what he's going by. And then Heel Harmon, and he's just going by his regular name, Bo Harmon. So they're down there doing that, and it's pretty cool. I mean, there's 12 of them, 12 wrestlers total, I think, that he took on for the first one. And it's pretty neat. I mean, because, he's still wrestling and doing the AEW thing. So it's kind of cool to like hear their side of like stuff too, like how it is learning all this, and it's
pretty
cool.
Fucking dope.
Yeah.
Have you ever considered if you took a different turn in life and became a wrestler, what your gimmick would be?
I've never actually thought about that, but I feel like my 13-year-old gimmick would be completely different than my 33-year-old gimmick because now the things that I think are hilarious are like the Val Venus either way.
Either way.
Every age.
Val Venus, I mean, I did go to Hooters for all my birthdays when I was a young boy. It is kind of funny that my girlfriend over here is a Hooters girl.
There you go. There you go.
Shout out Hooters.
Hooters.
Ex-Hooters girl, she would like me to add. Ex-Hooters girl.
Shout out to all the cooks at Hooters and that makes the wing.
Shout out to Hooters. Shout out to Hooters.
I know. I love me some Hooters.
Best pay-per-view series that's no longer around.
Well, the Starcade, yeah. I mean, Extreme Rules, maybe. Just, I don't think so.
No, TLC is still around though.
TLC is around, yeah. Extreme Rules was always, I mean, back in that Attitude Era, it was nuts. Yes, the AEW did do a Bash at the
dude, Bash at the Beach was totally the coolest.
Bash at the Beach.
Bash at the Beach was cool.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
I didn't even know AEW brought that back. I'm about to watch that after we get off.
Yeah.
Oh man, we've been to so many wrestling events now too that I'm just like wrestling events and concerts. So oh yeah, so Murph's one of his good high school buddies is a producer. His name's Patrick Wamsley. Do you know the name of the show he's producing? It's called Heels, and it's going to be on Stars. And so one of Murph's high school buds that's from Cincinnati here is one of the producers on the show, and it's going to air soon. And him and I were going to be extras on it, but they had to close down the set for a while for COVID stuff. And then the new date when they filmed didn't work out. But him and I they're filming in Atlanta, so we were gonna drive down and just be extras on the set for it. And it's about like independent wrestling and like if you like Google it, you can see stuff pop. There's been tons of like Yahoo articles and stuff about it. But yeah, that's he produced the movie with Matt Damon, We Bought a Zoo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and a couple other things that like you'd probably know of, but yeah. So yeah, that was cool. We didn't get to do that though, but we were gonna do that.
You said they get picked up for season 2.
Yeah, if they get picked up for season 2, we're in though.
There we go.
That's it. Yeah.
The guys in the front row just like drinks smashed and like.
Play Private Eyes.
We go to this wrestling here. It's a little north of us. It's in Dayton, which is about 45 minutes from here, but it's a Wednesday night and it's called Rockstar Pro. And actually now a lot of the guys that we watched wrestle pre-COVID are now on Impact Wrestling. And like Os Aston and what's his name? Sammy Callahan, who's on Impact. But all those guys wrestled at this one that we go to called Rockstar Pro. And the best thing is, this is the best. It was $2 to get in, hot dogs are $1, and beers are $1. And the wrestlers would let you chop them after the match for $5. So
Amazing.
Yeah, so I mean, one of the guys is John Murray Pro, and if you tossed him a beer while he was in the ring, he'd drink it. So
that's rad.
Yeah, so sticking with the entertainment, for our DJ biopic cinematic universe, who's playing Fuse? It could be anybody.
It could be anybody?
Anybody, dead or alive.
Dead or alive.
Yes, now he's asking her. I want to see what her pick is. Who is?
There we go. Yeah.
Oh, the girlfriend pick is good.
Yeah.
That's even
bring
better.
Her on.
Yeah,
bring her on. Bring her on.
You no longer get to pick for yourself.
Come over here.
Bring her on. I want to hear what her pick is.
Yeah.
You have no say in who you want to be.
I need like 3 options.
She wants 3 options. So, all right, let's see if who can pick. Okay, Robert Downey Jr.'s got to be one because I feel like his and mine are pretty much the same.
He's shooting high. We're
shooting
Obviously, Robert Downey Jr. Brad.
Yo, he totally hit you with the high and low. He's like, well, if you have 3 choices, the first one's Robert Downey Jr. Obviously. Wow.
He's like, if I gotta pick, it's gotta be Robert, Brad, and Denzel.
Yeah.
So let's go.
I mean, clearly, I look a lot like Denzel too. So I mean,
3 aces again. That's crazy. Right?
Robert Downey Jr. is definitely one. I feel like I feel like though the thing is, like, I love him, but I feel like except for Tropic Thunder, he's basically the same person in every movie.
Yeah.
And then let's see. Who are you gonna say? You can't say Jason Momoa.
He's throwing his own answers out there. Hey, listen, I know.
Oh, she's giving me Leo. She's giving me Leo. I'll take that any day.
Solid. That's a solid pick.
That's a
Great.
solid pick.
I mean, I can't even be mad at that. Look at him. Have you seen him? Have you seen him in Wolf of Wall Street? Look at his girlfriend there.
Can't be Jason Momoa.
Wow.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa is a terrible actor. He's just ridiculously good looking, and that's why he's got
hey,
him.
don't get me started on Justice League now. Okay?
Yeah, don't.
Oh.
Really.
Yeah.
We're gonna turn this into a comic book
4-hour
podcast.
podcast.
Exactly.
So
The Snyder cut of podcast.
Yep.
all right, now I gotta give you one more for who would play me. What's his name? That was in the who's not really popular anymore. He was in The Girl Next Door. Emil Hirsch. There you go. There's a not popular one.
Emil Hirsch.
Okay.
He's a likable guy in every movie, except for the
Yeah.
one with Justin Timberlake, where he's a
Alpha
dick.
Dog.
Alpha Dog.
Alpha,
Yeah.
Alpha Dog.
Alpha
Dog. People forget.
I can't go
people
too
forget
big. I
about
can't be like Robert Downey Jr., Leo, Brad Pitt. Like that's just not fair.
ridiculous.
And if I had to say at 4, Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
All right, we've narrowed it down to 3 decent-looking gentlemen. Who are we going with here?
Who was
All right.
the last one?
Emil Hirsch. She's got to Google it. She'll know who it is. She
You said Jason Momoa.
no, not Jason Momoa. It was Robert Downey Jr. And she's still going with Jason Momoa. We gave her 3.
Okay, how do you spell the last one?
Emil Hirsch. It's like Emile.
Yeah.
Jason Mimosa.
Jason Mimosa. I do like those every Sunday.
Not Emil. I'm between Robert and Leo. I'm gonna go with Leo because that was my instinct.
There you go. There you
All right,
have it.
Leo.
She picked Leo.
Leo.
Okay.
Leo.
So what are the odds of Warren putting the budget together to get all these guys to get the movie off the ground?
Yeah.
Well, you know, I think it's been a good year. I can say that. I
We
mean,
need to sit down with Uncle Warren.
I don't.
Hello, Jason Momoa. We don't need you anymore. Actually, we decided to go a different
We
direction.
decided to go with
Leonardo
Leo.
DiCaprio.
Ever heard of him?
Yeah.
I mean, he is the dude. He only dates models, and like they're
Yeah.
always pretty hot. So I mean, I'm not mad at him. And
He's been on a brunette.
yeah, I pretty much brunette or die. Like for me. So I'm, that's all my friends. They all know. Like, if a girl walks
They
into
all
a bar,
know.
if we walked into a bar, this man could pick out which girl I would be attracted to immediately. Yeah, Ashley, of course.
So she's still there. She's still there.
Hasn't gone to bed yet. Angry. But
all right. We're gonna crank it up. We're gonna crank it up to a completely another level here. Direct music service superlatives. I came up with this idea earlier.
oh, this is a
I
good
want to
one.
hit you rapid fire with your quick answers. Members of direct music service that you think are gonna fit the title for this.
All
Who
right.
is the best dressed at direct music service?
They would probably, I don't know. They might say me on that one but we all pretty much dress the same.
Of course. Mr. Momoa, Mr. DiCaprio.
Mr. Fuse Momoa.
Well, I mean, I don't know. If you look at, all right.
Everyone would probably say me.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick someone.
All right, I'll describe everybody's outfits. You ready? All right, here we go. Kevin Scott's going to wear a vintage wrap tee, blue jeans, and Jordan 3s. Warren is going to wear a white tee, blue jeans with a sweatband, and maybe some kind of Nikes. Maybe. Drew Pierce, black t-shirt, maybe a flannel, blue jeans, Chuck Taylors. Donk, shorts, Club Cannon t-shirt, Club Cannon hat, some Nikes. There we go. The Club Cannon hat.
Oh.
Simo,
Club Cannon.
Simo, all Patagonia. If you look at his Instagram, you would think he's a sponsored camper. Diggs is kind of on the Kevin Scott kick, where it's usually like vintage hip hop. Actually, probably Scooter. I didn't even think Scooter. Scooter's probably the best dressed. He cares about, the look and stuff too. So I'll Scooter. All right, that's what I'm going with.
That's great.
If it's not you, it's gonna be Scooter then.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, it's Scooter. He dresses better than I do.
If you had a sick day, it would be Scooter. That's it. Okay, fuck. I don't even want to ask this one. Who's the funniest at DMS?
Drew definitely is the funniest.
Drew Pierce. Okay.
Yeah, that guy is something else. I'll tell you.
Who's the best to party with?
I mean, so we do those DMS yearly retreats, and we haven't done one through COVID and stuff. But and I miss it because getting everybody together is always fun. And to just give like a quick story about the last one. Last one was in 2019, and Kevin and Warren the last couple of times have rented a big house. They had Sean O'Neill, who won MasterChef, cook us food and do all that, and they always take us out to the clubs and bottle service, whatever, and they're always great. Whatever anybody wants to drink, like we'll get.
Quick question: Are we
Warren.
Invited to that party?
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Party this year.
I'm sure they're always pretty good about that.
The brand is strong. Let's go.
And so like this year, like this past year, they got the house and they were like, we can tell all you young guys are growing up now, because basically we went out the first night and we went, I forget where, I think maybe XS or something. And the second night we were all like, we don't even want to go out. We can all just chill here at the house. Like we're over it. But Drew's definitely the funniest, and everybody's great to party with, actually, and especially if you get Warren a couple drinks in, it's always a good time. So,
okay,
Uncle Warren.
Okay,
yeah.
Uncle Warren.
When he's not Zumba on Twitch.
Yeah, no, I tuned in today, man, and I was throwing plates around. Worked up a sweat in the kitchen, man. It was embarrassing. Yes, shout out Uncle Warren. It was a good time this morning.
Shout out to Warren. Who's the best editor on DMS?
Ooh.
I mean, I think Diggs is very talented editor. I think a lot of the guys, even like some of the ones that like aren't doing edits anymore, like Drew, like doesn't really do a lot of edits for the site anymore because his roles kind of changed. But like if you can get some of Drew's personal edits that he plays, they're always great. Phrase, I mean, all his stuff's been great lately. Honestly, all the guys are great. Scooter's obviously, I mean, that's a hard one because I think like everybody kind of has their strong points, but overall, I mean, Diggs is a great editor. Scooter's a great editor. Donk's getting back to making edits again for the site, and I always loved his edits. So
yeah, man, welcome back.
Oh yeah.
Dang.
Oh yeah, we had an awesome dinner. Shout out to Donk, by the way. We had an awesome dinner in San Luis Obispo the other night. Solid dude. Go check out Club Cannon.
Did he take you to the tri-tip?
No, we went to a sushi joint.
Oh, okay.
I will say this: everything in San Luis Obispo closes when the sun sets. So if you're trying to dine and it's dark out, you're on your own.
Yeah,
if you're trying to get a car anywhere, like Lyft, Uber, etc., you're on your own. God bless. And that's the minute the sun sets. That's at 5:00 on the dot. That the city is just like, best of luck to you. It turned into I Am Legend out there, and you're just on your own walking the street. Shout out to San Luis Obispo. Thank you, John, for picking me up in a brand new Tesla that I have never even seen.
You got the dude. He's on the Teslas big time, and he's the first one that gave me the ludicrous that I got to like that experience, the 0 to 60. And
yeah, we did a launch.
Oh, yeah.
You haven't done a launch yet in the Tesla? I said, no,
Yeah.
man. Like,
Crazy.
I've been taking a Ford Escort everywhere throughout the city, let alone I haven't done a launch in a Tesla.
it's intense.
It's fucking intense. He's like, oh, we can watch Twitch while I'm driving, and has this huge screen. And he's like, oh, you want to play Angry Birds? I got that too. And I'm like, I'm never leaving. I'm gonna get a sleeping bag and just hang out in this car. This is fantastic.
I know. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. So shout out to him. Shout out to Club Cannon.
Shout out.
I told everyone go follow, but go follow.
Shout out.
Who has the most music knowledge?
I mean, most music knowledge is definitely Kevin or Warren. I mean, both of those guys are just music encyclopedias, and I always feel like both of them, like, it doesn't matter how many times I've hung out with either of them, like, they always have a new story to tell me about like something. And like Kevin's got great stories of AM, and like, I mean, like I've heard a story, and I won't try to go too far in depth because I don't know how much Kevin would want me to say or not want to say, but like AM, when he was engaged to Nicole Richie, about like sitting at a table at the engagement party at Lionel Richie's house, and like sitting at the table is like him, Mark McGrath, and like other people. And then like Warren's got stories. Warren's Tupac story is the coolest. If you can get him to tell the full story in person, is one of the best stories I've ever heard, hands down. Like, it is the coolest story ever. And he like, I think Warren did it, like they did an article, like Vegas 7 did an article, and he like kind of told the story to the magazine, but like it's not as good as Warren telling the story live. And it is very, very cool. And their music knowledge is both great. I mean, Warren, having owned a hip hop site, and they're just longevity in the music scene, both of those guys, and they're great to work for too, and great people. So it's always cool to talk music with both of them.
Hell yeah.
Definitely.
Shout out to Hip Hop Site. That's where I bought my first record.
Crazy.
Shout out.
So I bought my first record from Warren, not even realizing that it was
that's crazy.
Huh. Most likely to play country in a DJ set.
Ooh, I don't know about that one. Drew probably. I know Drew says he'll play like a couple country songs at like one of the college nights he did. So, probably Drew. Of all the guys on the site, probably him.
Okay. And last but not least, most likely to tell a song requester to fuck off.
Probably me.
Mr. DiCaprio himself.
Yes.
That's most honest.
I mean, I have like one thing, and it's like, if you're gonna come up to me, be nice. Like, just be nice.
Yeah.
And like, if you're that, I'm usually pretty cool. But like, people that just come up so like entitled, like, why don't you go ahead and play this song next? Everybody's gonna love it. And I'm like, all right, Becky, like, go back to your friends and like enjoy your night and stop telling me what to do. Nobody wants to hear Ariana Grande.
I do.
That's fair.
In fact, I actually played it 2 songs ago while you were standing there, and you didn't even realize it.
I
Travis,
sent Becky
always
with the
the
good
case.
hair. I sent Becky
Always.
with the good hair.
Travis is
sent her.
with Becky.
Yeah, I definitely sent her.
Pick one. Paris, London, or Rome, and tell us why. You can only have one.
I'm gonna go London. I've been to all 3. So I've been to London twice, I've been to Paris twice, and I've been to Rome once. And I love the just the more of the vibe in England. Everybody's like DTP and like ready to turn up at any time. I feel like they just need any kind of excuse to drink some beers, and they're like, let's go. But I like the vibe overall there better than Paris and Italy. And there's like, everybody always talks about the stigma about like how the French are rude and this and that, and like I don't really even think that that's like the case, and I didn't really even notice it until like I traveled to other countries, and I'm like, I can get like how it has that rep. But like I kind of compare it to like being in New York City, how like New Yorkers just don't care to be bothered by like somebody else, or like they don't got time for that. And like I just think that's kind of like Paris too. Like they just don't care to be bothered with like random tourists. Like you're a dime a dozen there. But like, you know, England, places like that, people are all pretty friendly. And like Ireland was my favorite place I've been, and everybody there is very friendly. And I just love too, like England and Ireland, the whole, like if you go into a pub, like you could be hanging out with somebody who's 18 or 60 and like nobody cares.
That's awesome. Ireland just seems like spring break all the time, but just beer wise, where it's just like we're going as hard as possible, we're dumping our beers on our heads, and somebody's getting in a fist fight on your left,
I mean, maybe. we in 2019 we went to Ireland. We flew into Dublin. We stayed in Dublin for 2 nights. We drove to Cork, stayed there for a night, drove to Killarney, stayed there for a night, drove to Limerick, stayed there for a night, went to Galway, stayed there for a night, up to Belfast in Northern Ireland, stayed there for 2 nights, drove back down to Dublin, and did like kind of the whole circle. And it was a lot of fun. It was it's funny, like if you only stayed in Dublin, like you would probably be like, oh, it was all right, because like all our favorite parts were in the other places that we went to. We went to a hurling match in Limerick, and Limerick proper is like 60,000 people, I think, and the hurling match was 40,000 people. So we were joking like, well, 2/3 of the city is here, like and then we saw the band, like a punk ska band, the Interrupters. We saw them in Belfast at a club that was called the Limelight, and that was maybe like 1,500 people, I would say. And that was great. Like to go to a concert, that was our thing. Like we didn't always want to do like the tourist stuff. We wanted to do like regular things that we would do here, but just do them there. And like, you get that so much more of the cultural experience than when you do that kind of stuff versus just doing like the touristy stuff. And we went to a horse track in Dublin that was outside of Dublin called Leopardstown Racetrack. And there was a concert after the horse races too. And that's something Murph and I both enjoy, is like horse racing. And the band that played there was Ham Sandwich. They're like a Irish like band that's like popular, but then like the next week it was like Coolio or something like that. Like that was the concert for the next Thursday like race series. And that's awesome. Yeah, we got offered drugs by a local at the horse track, of all places. The horse track. Yeah,
let's go.
Dude, he wanted us to do some coke with him. He was like, hey, like, it's funny. This is what he said. This is legit. So Murph does corporate finance. My other buddy, Stu, that we went with, is a lawyer. And then I'm the DJ. So he's like, so what do you guys do for a living? And Murph's like, corporate finance. Stu's like, I'm a lawyer. And I'm like, oh, I DJ for a living. He waits till both Murph and Stu walk away, and he leans into me and he's like, hey, want a bump of coke? And I'm like, nah, man, I'm cool. Like
the DJ
at a horse track in the middle of the day.
What? That's so funny. I feel like it's the least likely, but also the most likely.
Yeah, that's aggressive. You're like, dude, I'm at a horse track. Like, what am I gonna do? Anxiously watch like these horses running around, like being so fucking revved up.
Oh man. Oh.
Yeah, like wearing a weird outfit. Like this sounds horrible. It sounds like something from like Get Him to the
herringbone suit.
It was wild. I mean that was the first. Was that the first day or second day? Second night. Yeah, second night. So, I mean, but everybody there was super friendly everywhere we went. And like the funniest thing is like the more small town we got. Like Killarney was probably the smallest town we went to, and that was probably my favorite night. We like went and had dinner. We did a boat, like a weird, him and I did this boat tour that was like of this park that which is really cool because they like were putting more wildlife back into the park that had once been there like early on and that's not there anymore. And like the park had this huge lake. It's at Ross Castle is the name of the castle that the lake sits on. And it's closed to like everyday people. Nobody can go on this lake. And like, so they just put animals back on it. And then we did that during the day. And we were like, oh, that was kind of chill because we had just had 3 wild nights, 2 in Dublin, 1 in Cork, where we just got absolutely smashed. So we were like, oh, trying to be good. Like, oh, we're going to do this lake thing. And then like afterwards, we went back to the hotel, showered, and went to dinner. And we're like, all 3 of us were like, all right, 10 p.m. tonight, we're all going back to the hotel. And we stumble into this little pub and this dude's playing live music. His name was Cathal Flaherty, which is like the most Irish name you can have. You can look him up on Spotify too. He's on there. I follow him on Spotify after that because I went up to him and talked to him for a minute. But so this dude's playing music. He's crushing it. Like, he's like a good looking guy. There's like all these young girls in there to watch him play. And we're like, we'll stay here for a little bit longer, you know, like, oh, and I wasn't dating Ashley at the time. So this is all okay. And so we're like 10 p.m. rolls around and all of us look at each other. We're like 11 p.m. 11. We'll stay till 11. Right. Then the next thing you know, the pub's closing and it's 1 a.m. And my buddy Stu is like, look, we all said we were going home at 10. It's now 1. We're going home. And these girls that we had met at the bar were like, we're going to this nightclub. And we were like, Murph and I were like, they're going to the nightclub. Like, we're going to the nightclub. Like, so finally, after like arguing with Stu for like 30 seconds, it took a lot of convincing. It was like, all right, fine. So next thing you know, we're in this like nightclub in Ireland in Killarney, which is like maybe, I think it's like not even 20,000 people of a city. And like, I hear this DJ and he's playing a DMS edit. No shit. Like, I'm like,
oh shit.
Hey, like, and then the next thing I know, I hear one and it's like mine. And I had like stickers in my pocket and I was hammered. And Murph thinks it's hilarious because he's like, you big time the Irish DJ. I walk up to this guy and I just slap him with a sticker and walk away.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the population of Killarney is 14,000 people. So, I mean, and that was like our most fun night.
We undo the sticker and slap it on the inside of his screen.
I mean, we were in like a full-on nightclub with like lights and stuff. And in this city he just looked it up. It's 14,500 people. And like, I mean, that could have been it. That's probably the only one there. But like, what's funny is like there, like the pubs close and people legit go to nightclubs and they're just bars. They're bars that stay open past midnight, 1 a.m. So yeah, and we were there till like maybe 3 or 4 a.m. And then we tried to get this Uber and the Uber driver, like we almost got in a fight with the Uber driver that night because we wanted like Burger King and he wouldn't take us to the only Burger King in town. And we're like, everybody's American. Like, everybody goes to this Burger King after like, we're like, all right, well, we're hungry. It's 4 a.m., you know? That's I'm telling you, that trip was wild. Like, but in like the most real innocent way, it was wild.
I want you to talk a bit about Mount Adams Pavilion because a lot of our listeners don't know just how much talent ran through there and how much fun you guys had in the Midwest. We always talk about East Coast, we talk about West Coast, we have some guys from Miami and stuff like that, but that was kind of historic. And I was looking at some of the pictures today with you and Steve Aoki, you and Kevin. Like, tell people what that moment was like when it was in its heyday.
Okay, so Pavilion was a bar / club that I played that for about 10 years here, and it made 18 years, would you say? 18, 19? I could be even wrong. Like, it was around for 20 years, and I mean, it was just very interesting place. I mean, there's not many like it in terms of multiple levels, multiple floors, multiple DJs, a band down on the outside deck. So at any given night, there would be at least 3 different vibes you could check out. And then, you know, they back in the day, just like everyone, wanted to book AM. So to book AM, you had to book, you know, every member of Deckstar basically to get AM. So they started doing this summer DJ series. I think it was like 2006, maybe 2007 when they started doing that. And then they did it for a while. So, I mean, they had, you know, all those Deckstar guys at the time, Scene, Fashion, Sprite, Spider, Morse Code, Pace Rock, all kinds of DJs that are like, you know, your traveling DJs and more. Like even as it went on, they booked other DJs, but honestly, that's kind of what led to the me working for DMS was meeting Kevin and opening for him quite a few times and then making edits, and that's what led to that. But I mean, I feel like it was such an important part of like my DJ career and like shaping me, because I got to hear like all these guys that were playing in big clubs, and honestly, like I feel like there were a couple guys in town, you know, that helped me out too, but like I feel like, you know, then like nobody, like everybody was trying to mimic what those guys were doing when they come in and hear them. You'd be like, oh, okay, so that's like what they're doing. And like I feel like because I was playing around so many of them that I was like, okay, this is like how I need to be playing, and like, you know. But I mean, they had Mixmaster Mike through there, newer guys. They had a Conflict, Joe Maz played there, Jessica Who, which she is probably one of the best DJs that I've heard play. Like just crushes it. I mean,
shout out Jazz, friend of the show.
Crushes it. Scene is another one. I mean, that guy, one, is an animal.
Animal.
And I love him. Great
vodka,
guy too.
Shots all night.
Yes.
Nothing else. Won't touch anything else. Shots of vodka only.
Jameson,
all night.
he was doing.
Yeah,
Jameson
we got him to do some Jameson too.
Yeah,
It's vodka,
Jameson during quarantine.
But I mean, hey, oh, I thought you were over there. I was gonna say if you grab it, I'll take another White Claw. But
yo, we're not sponsored by White Claw yet, man.
I mean, it's become my easy drink if I'm drinking. I usually just drink whiskey anymore, Jameson usually, but I'll drink some White Claws. Thanks. We've had a lot of like performers play at Pavilion 2 over the years. They had like Ace Hood in there when that like he was popular in that time. We had Flo Rida and Gorilla Zoe in one night, and that was wild because we announced like Flo Rida came through town. And by the way, like everybody can think like whatever they want, like his music's cheesy, but that dude was the nicest person I have ever met. Like, I mean, so we announced the Flo Rida show like days before it even happened. It was like a radio promo thing, and they needed a spot basically to put him to perform, and it was in his contract that he had to do like an appearance basically. So we announced it like 2 days before, and it was like on a Wednesday or something. And like, you know, Cincinnati's not like Chicago or Miami or New York where like it's always popping. You know, there might be like one thing that you can go to that will be kind of busy. So for us to do, like, I mean, obviously he'll draw, that name draws, but like, so it was like 2 days and we announce it and it's like packed in there. And Colin's played there, so he like knows the room is like kind of like small and narrow and like shotgun style. And I mean, he just came in and was like so nice and personable, and like his DJ was cool. He hopped on and like they did like 3 songs, and then he was like, oh, I'm just gonna keep going if you guys want to keep going. And like he was literally only supposed to do like 3 songs, and he did like 15. And like then like I hopped back on, and like I was just like doing my thing, and I do this one like 2 Live Crew routine where I just like rip through like 6 or 7 2 Live Crew songs like real quick, just like hook. And he like came up to me and like dabbed me up, and I was like, oh, like 2 Live Crew, like cool. And then come to find out he was like a hype man in 2 Live Crew, and I didn't even know that.
Shit.
Like,
I didn't know that.
yeah,
What?
like, yeah. So I was like, oh, that's why. Like, it totally makes. I didn't even know at the time. Like, I was just doing my own like
You're
normal
like, I
thing.
knew that. I knew That's
Or something I whipped up.
I asked him for like a picture early in the night, and like he was like some like girl was like talking to him, and he was kind of like, and then like later, like before he left. And like his management was like pulling him out of there because he didn't want to leave. They were like, he's having a good time right now. And I was like, here? Like in Cincinnati? Like, you know, like dudes everywhere. And, you know, and like he came up to me before he left and he was like, hey, let's take that picture now. And he was like, by the way, like I had a really good time. Thank you. And like he left and I was like,
That's rad.
what?
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's super
So
dope.
like that, I'm trying to think of like who else we've had.
Did AM ever make it? Did AM make it to Mount Adams?
So AM played there. I was not allowed in that night. The one of the manager's brothers was a stickler at the door, and I was only 20 at the time. And some nights I could get in, and some nights I couldn't. And that was one of them I couldn't get in. So thanks a lot, Drew Schroeder.
Schroeder names. Shots fired. I love it.
Thanks, Drew Schroeder.
I love it.
But yeah, AM came and like everybody talks about that night being like so legendary, and like if you know the room, like my friend Tony that opened for him that night, he's like, everybody that came in that night just came in and stood there and stared at the stage, and for 2 hours while I opened, like was like this.
Damn.
At the stage, just like waiting for AM. And then he was like, AM came in, he played for 2 hours, and it was like, peace, yo. And like bounced.
What? Do you know what he got paid that night?
Ooh, I actually don't know what he got paid that night, but I know what a lot of the guys were getting paid around that time. And
Yeah.
he got paid a lot more. I think it was, from what I know, I think it was 10 grand that he got paid that night. And that was a weeknight in Cincinnati.
Wow. Legend.
So
Legend.
sick.
And then all those Dexstar guys were getting, not all of them were getting the same, but they were all getting between $1,500 and $2,500 plus flight plus hotel.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's fucking dope. How was Aoki? Do you remember any of that night?
I don't know if we had Aoki there. When I have the picture with Aoki, it's from one of the nights Warren opened for Aoki in Vegas.
Oh, in Vegas, yeah.
And he again was super nice. Like a couple of those nights for like the DMS party when we would go out there, like we've gone out for like Diplo and Chainsmokers, and Aoki was one, and Avicii was one.
This is all excess.
Yeah. Because Warren was the main resident at Excess for a long time, and the Warren would open and Warren would close, and then also because like Kevin and Aoki were basically both on Dexstar together. Their relationship's cool, and he like basically, they were all Vegas like, you can't have more than 2 people on the stage at a time. Like, so like Warren would take like us up like 1 or 2 at a time. Like, hey, like, well, you can go meet Steve or like whatever. And again, he was super nice. He was like, trying to DJ and talk to us at the same time. So he's like, cool, DMS, what's up? Like, and I was like, cool, and pick, and I'm like, all right, we'll leave you alone now. Like, there's 5,000 people in front of you, like, and you were trying to smash somebody in the face with some cake and shit. Same with Diplo. Like, Diplo's crazy though, because like, I don't know if you've ever been to those Excess. You're in Vegas, right?
Yeah, I was actually working at Excess and Tris during those days.
Okay.
So I was there.
like Diplo's crazy. Like it's like girls show up to the club and they just go to the rail and stand there and wait.
Right.
And you're like, and then Sprite. So I love Sprite because we're sitting there and Sprite's like, I bet that's one of the girls that twerk for him. I bet that's one of the girls that twerk. And he's like, so your next thing you know, he plays the one song, Bubble Butt, and like all these girls hop the rail and like get up there and are like, you know, and Sprite's like, see, told you.
During that like Bubble Butt Express Yourself era, there was just so like Diplo would
Nola
show
bounce,
up.
twerk.
Yeah, dude, he would show up and like he already came deep. Like so he would come so deep with so many people and a bunch of girls with him. And there's always like a segment where he just like pulls girls from the floor to like twerk on stage. And just like Express Yourself was like a handstand. So it was like mad dangerous. It was crazy.
I mean, and so like what's crazy is, so we got a picture with Diplo that one of those nights. We've seen him like multiple times there. But they were all like, meet us in the back of the club at this point and this time. So like us like 20 dudes are standing in excess, and you know how they are. They're like, you gotta move. You're too many dudes standing here. And you're like, chill, bro. Like, we're here for Diplo. Like, and
security.
Sure enough, like,
Express Yourself, guys. Bring them up.
Express Yourself, guys.
So we're here he comes, and like he's like, what's up? He like high fives everybody. He's like, thank you guys, like you guys are a part of like what keeps this going. Like super nice, super cool. And like he takes a picture, and then again like management's like shoveling him out the door because bitches are like everywhere, like you know, trying to crawl at him. And I don't blame him. He's a pretty handsome fella, he's popular, he's got some loot. Like I'd probably be trying to do the same thing,
you know.
Yo, Fuse was in the line with him. They're like, sir.
He's like trying to walk through.
I'm his manager. It's all good. I'm
I was actually like, it's me. I'm Diplo. I'm him. I'm the guy playing tonight.
Don't worry. It's Jason Momoa. Let him in. Right this way.
I mean, the pavilion stuff is crazy because it just, I mean, I think in Cincinnati, like if even if you ask like any of those guys, like, you know, besides Chicago, and we can't count Chicago because Chicago's, you know, I consider Chicago like big city clubs. And I know Colin, you lived there forever, and but like compared to like, you know, other cities, even I mean, Columbus here in Ohio's got a good little scene, but I think any of those guys would tell you like Pavilion was the spot for a while in this area. And it's kind of crazy to me because I just see it as like Pavilion, you know, but like those guys all are like, everybody will be like, oh, it was a great time. And I think part of the reason why all those guys like to come in there and play in there because like us DJs were like very respectful to them. But not only that, like management and the staff was like very hospitable and like whatever you want, whatever you need, like, you know, treated them very well. And I think that like it's a lot of smoke and mirrors with the traveling DJs of like how they're actually treated at a lot of these spots. And you know, I think they like to come in there because they got the like the 5-star treatment that they should deserve, whereas like some of these clubs they go in, you're like, hey, I'm supposed to get a bottle, and they're like you know, like
That was definitely the renaissance for the traveling open format DJ, I think, as far as you could get that $2,000. And I mean, you can still get it now up until pandemic, you could still get that. But I definitely think like people would show up no matter who it was. And you were like a massive celebrity for that one night. They're like, hey, these guys are from AM's roster. We're gonna pack the fucking club just as if we would, you know, to see anyone from him, you know, like his crew or whatever. And that made so many celebrities. That made Spider. That made Fashion. You know, Kevin just made these guys just huge national touring acts. You know, and that kind of set the tone for the rest.
Yeah, I think the funniest thing to me about it all too is like you could definitely tell like which guys were from which part of the States by how they played. Like the more New York guys were always like scratch drop. Yeah. And then like the West Coast guys were always like blending, mixing, like, and it's just funny because like I feel like now it's very much a little bit of both. Like most everybody's like mixing for the most part, but like you might scratch and drop something here for a bigger reaction or like whatever. But like at that time it was very much like you were one or the other, like that's how you played. And and like Ross One's from Cincinnati, Ohio, and he played there. But I mean,
Travis, it kind of Ross One.
It kind of drives me nuts because I feel like Ross and Pace are both from Cincinnati, and they kind of like dig on it a little bit from time to time. I feel like they rep it, like they'll rep that they're from here, but they'll also talk about how like it sucks, and it's like that's cool, but like you guys like bailed to do bigger and better things instead of like trying to build culture here. And like I don't take it personally, but like I just think the two that like those guys speak from what it used to be like 15, 20 years ago, whereas like now it's a lot different. So I think there are cool parties you can go to pre-COVID. I think there are cool parties you can go to. And like, if you're in the know, like you can go to cool things that like, or people are trying to do cool stuff. And like my friend Ben here plays a party. It's called the Tea Dance Party. And they haven't really had any post-COVID, but it's a big, I don't know the proper way to say it, but like big gay community like party, and it's so awesome. It is one of the coolest parties to go to. He plays very soulful house music for 4 hours, and the venue changes. It's every 2 weeks or every 2 weeks. It was every other Sunday. And the venue changes every time, and it doesn't matter where it is. So this is the cool part. It's not always just a bar or a club they have it at. They have it at like venues. So like they'll just turn a venue into the club or party, and everybody shows up. The last one that we went to was right before COVID shut down. It was in a hotel here at like a wedding venue. It's more used for wedding venues. It's called the Hall of Mirrors, and it's like this giant hall, and it's just like mirrors down the side, and there was like maybe 1,000 people there that day. I mean, it was crazy. And it's also crazy because literally you would not hear one top 40 song, and it's like 4-hour party. And like I'm talking like as soon as it starts, like people flood in and it's packed, and then like when it's time to go, everybody just goes, and like nobody's rude, nobody's like let me finish my beer, like, you know, like, or like, it's just like the best kind of party you could want, because they come, everybody drinks, everybody parties, and everybody goes home when it's over. And like, it's great.
And music is bomb, huh?
Yeah. And it's cool. It's just different. And like, when people say like nothing cool happens in Cincinnati, Murph and I talk about this all the time. We're like, no, actually cool stuff does happen. You just got to like not be lame, and like, you got to go out during a week and like go do this, or like go see this party, or like not be afraid to do something outside of your little bubble of people, you know? And I think there's plenty of options for things to do here, you know? And I know you guys probably feel the same way in like your cities too. Yeah, like you just got to be in the know and be willing to go out and do it.
Yeah, that was a big thing that I was hoping that the pandemic is going to change coming back after, where people are going to be a little bit more open-minded to the music, to the environment. People are going to be ready to switch things up, because that spot you were going to is closed now. Yeah. So you can't just go to the same fucking watering hole you go to 6 nights a week before this. You have to find something new now, you know? And I'm hoping that when people do stumble into these spots, they hear some music, even if it's just one song, and then they're like, oh shit, like let's stick around, you know, let's give it a try. Or another example, I found this DJ from Twitch, let's go see them, they're in town, you know, or something like that. Where I am hoping that the cool shit does get pushed to the top again, because it kind of got stopped to the bottom, you know? Like there was a time where being a tastemaker and breaking new records and playing shit that the crowd didn't know was the whole fucking point you went out in the first place. You know, and then it got to the point of, oh, I just want to only hear songs that I know. And now people are slowly starting to come back to that because they were on Twitch and then they heard D Nice play a bunch of 80s shit that they weren't around for. And, you know, there's different levels to it where I think people are starting to branch out, hopefully, or they're being forced to.
I have so many mixed opinions on it. Like, I've been playing out quite a bit recently, and it seems like at first people were like, oh my God, here, take my money. It's just so awesome to hear a DJ. And then like now it's kind of like, now that I've been playing out, they're like, up, same old shit, like do what I want. Like, you know, like, and then I also feel like kind of mixed in my own way. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, it is my job to play cool stuff. And like my opinion always is varying. And I'll be like, honest, like I'm so like wishy-washy. Like one night you might hear me play this and one night you might hear me play that, and one night I might think it's cheesy and one night I might think it's hilarious. And like, you know, like some nights I feel like, you know, it is my job to play cool music and show like people what's cool. And then some nights I'm like, you know what, everybody has one of these computers in their hands and it's their job to tell themselves what they think is cool. And like, so I'm just gonna do like what I think is best, you know, like. And like that's something I always find myself torn as, like with the DJ, is like, and I think maybe you guys would agree, is like knowing the time when to do that. Like certain gigs are just like, okay, we're gonna go and get the job done and complete the gig, and then like other gigs you're like, no, this is my gig to like play the cool stuff and like show people what I think is cool. But I think that's also why I'm torn, is because like, you know, if you're playing open format gigs all the time, like, and mostly trying to make money from this thing that we do, that we care so deeply about, that other people don't really give two shits about, you know, that you always do criticize yourself pretty hard. And like last Saturday, I was like one of those where I'm like, man, I did not have a good set tonight. Like I just wasn't happy about like the way things went. And like, you know, I feel like, it's always funny because like nights I feel like I crush it, people are like, yeah, it was good tonight. And then like nights where I'm like, oh man, tonight sucked, people are like, oh my God, tonight was amazing. And I'm like, really? Because I think it sucked.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's a real thing, man. That's a real thing. And I think you are right. It is that 2 for them, 1 for us kind of thing, where you do find that balance where you're kind of doing your thing, you're breaking music, but you're also playing the hits, you know, because you are paid to keep the vibe once the vibe is there.
It's tough. I feel like it's a hard thing to balance always, like of being like cool, but at the same time, like I'm in these bars where it's like they don't care about what's cool. They just want people to spend their money. And like I get that too. Like it's a tough thing to balance. And that's like when it was like great, when it's like when you brought me to Chicago and I got to play the underground the first time, I really had a good time. The second time was that night. It was like cold and rainy and like kind of was like a bad night in the club.
Right.
Because then I felt like, well, it also sucked because they sat like all the Bears players right next to me at that table to the left, and they like only wanted to hear Future, which is cool. Like, but then like the manager telling me like, yo, don't play any hip hop. And I'm like, what do you expect me to do when I got like these guys right next to me, like basically being like, do this. I'm like, you have hundreds of other tables you could have sat them at, but you sat them right next to me. Like, and that's cool. Like but like those are frustrating nights too, you know, because you're trying to keep it together for everyone to have a good time. And like, you know, then you got the management up your ass trying to tell you what to do. And I'm thankful a lot of the places I've played and still currently play are pretty cool here. Like they don't really do that to me. But what I was gonna say is that first night I played at the Underground, you were like, oh, just do you. And like, man, I played like everything that night. I played like some System of a Down bootlegs to like Jackson 5, like, and that was great. It's great. And then the free skate party at headquarters, like that was great too, because it was hip hop and punk rock, and that was cool too. I really enjoy getting to do those parties because, you know, like you make all these edits for DMS like I have over the years, and it's like a lot of them I don't get to play, like sometimes people think that are on the site. They're like, oh man, he must only play like rock edits when he plays these shows. And it's like, dude, like, no.
I never play these.
Yeah.
Make the edit you want to play, not the edit you. Yeah. What's that, like dress for the job you want or something?
Yes, exactly. So
no, that's good to know.
Some of the times I don't even download stuff. I just make it and put it up there, and up there I feel like people will be like, oh, I got this, and I'm like, oh, I forgot I even made that. Like I just had no idea.
At least somebody's playing it.
Yeah.
In Ireland.
In Ireland. I'm like,
you're like, thanks for playing this edit, buddy. Slap him in the face.
Here's my sticker. The wedding DJ.
The wedding DJ.
What's funny is I vividly remember, and you'll laugh at this, is like, I mean, I'm hammered, and like the dude's playing like Beware of the Boys, and like my one buddy here is like an inside joke, and like that's his theme song. So I'm like in the club in Ireland, like taking like a selfie of Beware of the Boys, sending it to him like, I'm in Ireland, it's 3 a.m. and he's playing Beware of the Boys, like
just having a time.
Yeah. And I mean, it's just crazy to think sometimes too, like we're in another country and I'm hearing stuff that I made for DMS, and like it's like I made this, like I made, like, yeah, sure, it's somebody's song, but like I made this version and it's now traveled this far too,
Nuts.
It's so sick.
Fucking nuts. I do want to touch on this real quick, and then we're gonna let you cut out here. 20 million plays on Fit Radio. Over 20 million.
Man, congratulations.
Yeah. Thanks.
For real.
They've been great. I've worked with them. Man, I want to say it was like 2012 or 2013 when they like first reached out to me, and that was like before SoundCloud, became like non-existent, basically, like when you could put stuff up there and they wouldn't remove it. And so I was just like constantly making like a lot of like themed mixes of stuff that I just thought was cool, and I would upload a 60-minute mix to SoundCloud. And they came to me and were like, hey, we really like all your content you have on your SoundCloud. Like, would you care if we used it for our app that we're like developing? And like it might have been out for like a year or two at the time. And I was like, sure, like the more that hear what I'm doing, the better, like, and then like they came to me like, hey, what if we pay you to like make like a couple mixes that are like only exclusive to our app? And I was like, even better, like I'm gonna get paid to like do stuff that I'm already doing, like
yeah.
So I made a couple, and then it kind of like turned into, now I do a few a month, and other guys do too. I don't necessarily know like the dynamic of the relationship of how it all works with everybody, but I mean, it's hard to do what they ask, because sometimes they'll be like, okay, we need a mix that's all 75 beats per minute, and we need it rock, and we need it without any of these popular rock songs. So like that's when it becomes like challenging.
Oh shit.
What happens is like they get tons of mixes submitted to them from other DJs, and it's just like the same, like it's like Killers, Mr. Brightside, you know what I mean? Like all the songs everybody's playing, that are rock. So like then they need somebody to like make other mixes, so it's like not getting stale. And then that app's great because it's really cool. It's DJ mixes. The whole app is DJ mixes, and like you can listen to it with a training coach over top of the mixes. And if you still don't like the music, you can like skip, and it skips through the song without ruining the mixes. So it's really cool app, and like how they developed it and everything. And yeah, it just got lucky like on the app to be somebody that was involved early. And I feel like because I was one of the first ones on there, that like a lot of people started following me within the app, and like that whole like trickle down of just being on there long and kind of like getting lucky and connecting with them. But it's been a really good relationship, and they've been really good to work for, and I'm thankful for that, because between them and DMS during this whole pandemic is like what's really kind of saved me from having to go like get a 9 to 5 and really work super hard all the time. And I did do a little 9 to 5 for a while because I kind of had to. Everything kind of shut down here, and it put me into like a situation where I'm like, oh, gotta go do this. And it sucked. I mean,
Yeah.
It sucked. So I'm thankful to have them, and they've been, like I said, they've been great to work for. And it's tough sometimes, like what they ask. And I like anymore, like one of the things too I try to do when I like make mixes for them is like, I just don't even try to open my Serato library anymore. I just like literally will go to record pools and just download songs and then like because I make all the mixes in Ableton. So like I'll just go on record pools and like look for stuff, and then like I'll keep those songs in like a file folder with the saved file for that mix, but like I don't put them into my Serato library either, so I don't get like confused of like stuff that I don't really like personally care to DJ like in clubs. And I still try to like be picky with like the music. I'm like, I probably like wouldn't play that anyway, so like I'm not gonna put it on a mix. But like it's tough to make, you know, 3 or 4 hour long mixes every month and then not like be super repetitive. And then when you take out like in consideration some of the stuff they need, like, okay, we need it to not be these mixes, or like, you know,
these tracks.
Yeah. And that gets kind of challenging, especially with like rock mixes, because then you're going through and you're making a mix, and you're either downloading songs that aren't even DJ edits, and then you're like quantizing the songs and to make it sound good. And like, you know, they have coaches doing coached workouts over the songs, so like they need to, it all has to work out for like what their purpose of what they need it for. Too.
Right. I know Travis is going to ask you, but I'm going to beat Travis to the punch on this. We are making a playlist for the 5 on 5 podcast.
Yeah.
What is one song that everyone needs to listen to?
Oh, this is all right. Is it what kind of playlist is it? So is it going to be like party playlist? Is it going to be like everything playlist?
Everything. So this is just every guest is just picking a song and we're throwing it on.
All right. Well,
just one song, very easy.
This is really hard for me, but I'm gonna
for sure.
We've touched on it a little bit. I'm gonna go with the Interrupters. She Got Arrested, because that's the concert Murph and I, and Murph's here, saw in Ireland. And since we talked a little about that, I love them. Female lead singer, the concert was great. They're great. That song's like kick you in the face energy. So that's the one I'm gonna go with. And like, if you like any like, I don't know, like Less Than Jake, Blink-182, any of that kind of stuff at all in that, like you'll like that too.
Dope. Added.
Yeah.
It's added.
It's added. Tell people where they can find you on socials, what you got coming up. Give everyone the rundown. Let them know what's good.
Yeah.
On social media, I'm just at Fuseamania. So FUSEA Mania, MANIA. So like Hulkamania, Fuseamania. That's me on social media. You can find me working for DMS. Always got that going on. Fit Radio. Been DJing a little bit here and there here. So that's good. And hopefully DJing a lot more in a few months once things seem like they might be coming together, but we'll see.
Is work starting to pick up again by you?
Yeah, it's been picking up. Things I feel like here have definitely been picking up, and it definitely seems like people are caring less and less about like everything, which that's here nor there. I don't even want to get into that part, but
all of our guests at the very end, we get into like a mask topic or a pandemic topic, and it's like, let's go back in. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that.
Yeah.
No, totally. Yeah. And I mean, I saw the Miami clip where it's just a party down in Miami right now for spring break.
I mean,
like
spring break, and Miami's going to be Miami. So, But yeah, things have been opening up a little bit here, and like, I mean, not to get like too far into it, but like one of the places I've been playing has basically been like, screw it, like we're not going to follow any rules, and like people want to come in, that's on them. They like know what they're getting themselves into in here, and like, dude, it's been kind of wild because like the first night they did that, it was like DJing on Halloween, where like, you know, everybody's out and they're like just wild and having a good time, and they don't care because everybody's in a stupid costume, and like they don't care about what they look like or like what Louis bag they're carrying, and like everybody's just having a good time. It was like that energy all night. But like,
That's rad.
a couple weeks of after that, like, and you know, being like, well, that's what it's like here. People are like kind of falling back into place and just being assholes. So
Right.
Like
it won't take long.
Yeah. It doesn't take long at all.
But things, there's a lot of places that are still like, you know, following the rules and stuff here. And there was curfews for a long time here. I mean, everything was shut down at 10 p.m. for the longest time. And now that's gone. So we're open till 2 a.m. You still have to be seated. Every guest has to be seated technically if you're following the rules. And every guest, the parties can't be bigger than 10. So it's just really weird vibes. I don't know about what you guys are, or what your situation is. It's just weird. So it's been weird. Like a lot of the places have had like entertainment still for that, and it really like messes with you as a DJ because you're like, all right, like a big table leaves of 10, and you're like, I'm at a small bar, so what did I do wrong? And it's like, really, you didn't do anything wrong. You're just playing to people sitting down, and nobody can do anything that way.
Right.
Man.
Exactly.
That's going to be the interesting dynamic of keeping the energy up when people are sitting down.
Yeah. It's been tough. It's been a struggle. I mean, like, I know a lot of people love the Twitch stuff, but I've done some streaming, but I am like completely over that.
Okay, thank you.
I am so over that. Like, I don't get me wrong, like I think it's cool, like, and I think that if like that's what people's thing have come to, like, that's great, and I'm glad that they've been able to like pivot into that. And like, but like for me, it's like not gratifying at all. Like it's not the same as playing to people. Like, I'm very much like need that energy. And like, I've always been like considered myself like a very extroverted introvert, where like I love being social, but like I also need like 4 days a week where I just don't really want to talk to anybody or see anybody, you know? And like, it really is like proven to me, like, I'm like, wow, like I really am more of like a people person than I thought I was. Like,
yeah, right.
That is, man, that is.
I mean,
shit.
you're Leonardo fucking
Yeah.
DiCaprio, dude. Like, you got to be a people person.
Yeah, it's like I hate all of you. Like, I hate you all, but like I need you.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
I miss
When
y'all
shit hit
too,
the
though.
fan, you're like, come on back, give me some more. I'll talk to all you motherfuckers. Anyone want to talk?
I'm like the girl that snapped 95 selfies with her Louis bag that she S some D for. You know, I want you back in the bar. I need you. Come on, come back in the like the dude that's like doing lines of blow in the bathroom, like nobody's seeing him in the stall with his other 2 buddies. I'm like, bro, everybody knows you're not all 3 pooping together. Come on. My wife, come on. I hate you, but I need you.
Yeah.
Come on.
You're hopping into the bathroom when all 3 guys are in the stall. You're like, hey, can I just get a group hug real quick? How great is this?
Yeah, we were actually all in here to take a picture together. Like, this is the quietest spot in the bar that we could actually do this.
That might be your new thing, where you're just going around taking selfies with everyone. Like, hey, isn't this fucking great? Like, smile.
I hate it, but I do love it.
Capture
Like,
the moment.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I mean, 1 whole year of not getting that, you're gonna miss it. You know, no matter what it is, because you're just trained. You know, you're going through the motions for so long, where you're like, every Friday and Saturday, I talk to X amount of people, I play X amount of songs, hands are up, hands are down, we go home, you know? And when that stops at a screeching halt, that does something to your mental where you're like, I still need some of those people in my life. I need more people interaction. So I think we go through waves, and I think it's going to be a retraining with people getting back out there in person, being like, how the fuck do we act around 200 people in a club?
And two things I want to say. Murph and I have talked about this a lot. Like, one of the things that him and I miss is like, we always go to like, him and I probably go to like 100 shows a year, like concerts. That's not even a joke. Like, we just so many times get free tickets or random tickets, and we just don't say no. We just go. And like afterwards, we'll like go to the bar that's close to whatever concert venue here and it's like, we miss the like running into like somebody random and like meeting a new person. And like, that's actually cool, because there are cool people out in the bars too. You're like, that are like, oh, I came to the show, like I blah, 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 you know? And then like, the other thing I was going to say is like, with people coming back and like all this social distancing, it's going to be a lot of fights in every bar. Like, people have been that's one thing that I'm noticing, like a lot of fights, because people have been so like in their own space bubble for so long now. And even like, if you've been going out to bars, and like here, bars haven't really been closed since like maybe 2 months after the pandemic started here. Like, there's been bars open, and people have just been going getting shit-faced during the day, and like things were shut down at 10 p.m., you know? But everybody's so distanced, and now like everybody's coming back together, like, you know, and bar is getting crowded in, like there's fights, and because people are like territorial. I mean, that's what we do. Like, you know, like, I hate to say it, but it's true. Like, that's one of the things that I've noticed, like, is it's just a little tense. And I think it'll take some time to get used to like being in crowded bars again. Like, but
that's a great point.
Have the slow jams ready.
Like, that would be any of my suggestions to, like, if you guys are playing at any places that are thinking about like, and if when the time comes, like, hey, we're gonna open to full capacity again, and like, you know, it's like they better be staffed like for it, like security wise too, because it's that's a really good point. Cause I can already, like, there's been a few times where people are like flipping up, and I'm like, yo, chill, back up. Like, yeah. So it just is what it is. It's going to be a whole, and like for us DJs, like I hate to say it, but it's almost like starting at square one again. Like, you don't have any of the gigs that you used to have, and it's like
definitely
starting over again. It sucks because it's like you worked your whole career as a DJ to like get good gigs, and now it's like you just gotta take the gigs that are available. And like, I don't know. Yeah, I've been a little lucky here with like some of the stuff that I've been doing, and a couple of my friends one's an owner of a bar, and he's really helped me out. And I do bingo now for him. That's one of the things I don't know if you guys have seen that. That's been very successful though. So he came to me and he's like, hey, I'm gonna start doing this bingo. I think it'll be cool, and like people will like it because they have to be seated, right? And I'm like, actually, I think that could work. Like, but like he started doing the bingo on Tuesday nights, and he was just doing it himself because he's a DJ, and like he was on the radio forever here. His name's DJ Saab. He owns a bar here called Fishbowl, and he was like, I'm gonna do this. I think like it'll work. And then he was like, okay, now do you want to do it? Because you're not working. And I was like, yeah, okay. And then like it got so popular, we do it 3 nights now. I do 2 nights. Or I do 2 of I do Saturdays and Sundays during the day. And dude, there's no open seats ever anymore.
What?
Yep. So he calls it Tipsy Bingo, and literally it's like, it's free to play and people can come and, you know, with their groups, and he's very strict at his place and makes sure he follows the rules. And that's cool because like, I completely understand from all aspects, like it's his only spot, and he like wants to make sure he's doing everything right, and he does everything right, like from music to everything he does is right. But like, dude, it's crazy. People love it. And like, it's so we start on Saturdays and Sundays, we do it from 2 to 4 p.m. And like, if people aren't there by like noon, 1 o'clock, you can't get a seat. Like,
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's what's crazy about it too is like you'll have like bachelorette parties or like it'll be like mom, grandma, and daughter all out for like a Saturday out together playing bingo because they think it's funny and like cool and ironic and like it works. It's fun.
That's
and it's
pretty
like
rad.
yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. So and it's really easy. It's like you just talk and pull the balls and like, you know, and make some funnies in between. Usually I call it
talk and pull the balls.
I know, and I usually I say to people, I'm like, I'm not even funny. It's just like a roast session. I just sit there and roast people for 2 hours, and like they all think it's funny because I say it with a smile.
Great.
Like girls go to the bathroom and they're like, "Don't announce anymore until we come back," and I'll be like, "Yo, these girls got a shit, so like I'm not allowed to announce any numbers until we come back."
Yeah, that's rad. We'll talk about someone pivoting, man. That's fucking dope being able to do that given the circumstances. And
it's been cool.
Hats definitely off to you, man. And I wanted to take a second and say thank you too for everything that you do for the podcast on a weekly basis.
Oh no,
100%. Thanks, man.
For real.
My job.
For everybody that doesn't know, Fuse is like he's like our behind the scenes man. That he doesn't know that he's our behind the scenes man, but he knows now. He's like,
I know.
I appreciate all the work that you do with us.
I appreciate it because you guys, I don't even have to ask for anything usually, and the other thing is like I know I'm not always consistent with the days, but I always when I post stuff, I try to do it just on days where I know like everything will get the most attention. Like I got to post this and this and this. So like if I don't post your guys on the day, it's only because I'm just trying to get it the most attention.
We appreciate it whatever day you do post because it's always a day that we don't really post. So it's like another way of traction. Man, going to analytics, man. I could talk all day.
Yeah. Now everyone knows the secret to our success.
Hey, let's go.
Any parting words, Fuse? Anything you want to share with people? Any words of wisdom before we get out of here?
No words of wisdom other than drink your Pedialyte.
Your Pedialyte. That's a good one.
Drink your Pedialyte.
Yeah, it's like be sure to drink your Ovaltine.
Exactly.
No, but it's good. You guys gave me a hard one. I feel like I'm waiting for I'm waiting to see like Korn versus Metallica or
it's coming. Trust me, it's coming.
Or I want to see some other hard ones too. Like I want to see some other people struggle.
It's coming.
But you guys, all the matches are pretty good. I feel like though, honestly, that you guys match up because they are hard, and that's what makes it cool.
Hell yeah.
Who did win today? Did Queen win?
That was Bowie.
No, Bowie won today.
Yeah. Bowie won. Wow.
Yeah.
Because of the last round.
Yeah. Because of the last round. Oh, got it.
Yeah. Bowie over Freddie Mercury. That's crazy.
Hey, Fuse, on our way out, can you give us your favorite wrestler's tagline?
I mean, see, that's hard because like if I have to pick a favorite wrestler, like I always say it's definitely Stone Cold just because like that attitude and the error. But like, if you smell what the Rock is cooking is pretty amazing tagline. I mean, it doesn't really get any better than that. And the Rock, I mean, at that time was just, I mean, the Rock and Stone, like I'll favor Stone Cold, but like, and the Rock kind of drives me nuts anymore. But like, if Corporate Kane did have a tagline.
Okay, that's a good one.
I loved Kane too. I mean, it's so cheesy. I love
Corporate Kane.
I mean, it's just so anything bad cheesy wrestling is like I love that stuff. Like, I mean, we could go all day on this stuff.
All right, we got to get a tagline before we leave.
Know your role.
Oh, the tagline. So yeah, I mean, if you smell what the Rock is cooking, I think is my.
You gotta say it.
What?
Yeah, you gotta say it. You gotta say it off with it.
If you smell what the Rock is cooking, like that.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
We will see you guys next week. That's been Fuseamania. This is the 5on5 podcast presented by directmusicservice.com. Next week, special guest DJ Spider as we near 50 episodes.
Nice.
Yes.
That'll be a good one.
Yeah. Cheers, gentlemen. I will cheers you guys with a bottle of water. Cheers to the White Claw over there.
Cheers.
Fuse, once things open back up, come on out and see us. And
Definitely.
We're definitely gonna make our way out to the Midwest again.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
And keep everybody in line out there.
Try.
Keep breaking up those fights. Keep,
Hey, I don't break them up. I just sit there and play. Why can't we be friends?
I like it.
Yeah.
It.
No, before we get out, 5 seconds. I saw that video of AM playing the Rocky theme when there was a fight, and I was like, dude, another reason why he was the fucking greatest.
No, who would have thought to do that? Like, I mean, it's like a no-brainer, but it's not at the same time because your brain's not thinking of that at all.
Yeah, you're like, oh, fight. And then he was like, yeah, Rocky theme. So fucking good. Cheers to AM. Cheers to you, Fuse. Cheers to directmusicservice.com. Thank you again for all that you do. And we look forward to dropping hundreds and hundreds of more episodes with you guys.
Yes.
That's it. We're out.
See you guys. Thanks.